Hello, this is Karia again, and I have another video for you today. Today I will be talking about graphite pencils. So I received a package on Friday. Now this video is being filmed second, but it will actually air first, from pencils.com, and it came with all sorts of goodies. And it got me to thinking that I really want to talk about graphite pencils in general, and then more specifically talk about my favorite writing graphite pencils, this is probably my favorite writing graphite pencil, which is the Palomino Blackwing. And they have a number of other pencils which I had never tried before, but they did send me. So I want to talk about these in this video. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So I will be right back and we can get started. All right, so I'm going to talk about these things a little bit in sections. I'm going to talk a little bit about one section and then go on to the next section, and there will be timestamps down in the description, and you can skip to the next section if you want. But I'm going to talk about why I love graphite pencils, and then we're going to talk specifically about the Blackwing pencils that the folks at pencils.com sent me, and then finally we're going to go over what the different characteristics. So there's that. So I love the graphite pencil because once you have one that is sharpened, it's good to go. It's always ready, especially for people who do adult coloring. A lot of time people experience the thing of pressing too hard and having a hard time sort of getting the hang of using a lighter touch. Now, one of the things about that I think might be the issue is people using a ballpoint pen and getting really accustomed to a ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pens are, they're affordable, but as a rule, I don't like them. And that's a personal choice. That's not, any indication of what can be done with ballpoint pens. It's just personally, I don't like them. In part because you have to press so hard, and that sort of, in some ways, limits your ability to do certain things. So, for example, something like this is super easy to do with the graphite pencil. You simply use a light touch and you go in, and then you have a little bit more control over it. So there's that. So that's one of the things I like about the graphite pencil, especially, and I recommend these for people. I've recommended them in the past for people if you have a tendency to press really hard and you're trying to figure out how to get that lighter touch that helps with the shading. I recommend people switch to graphite pencils. Now these in particular are my favorite graphite pencils, but you can use any graphite pencils, but we're going to be talking about these in the video. So there's that. So and of course, it's easy to correct mistakes. They never go bad. They never dry out. So anyway, so those are the reasons why I really love these graphite pencils. All right, so I'm going to take a break, and then we're going to talk more specifically about the three that they sent me. What pencils.com sent me was they sent me a big box, and there'll be a full unboxing over here, but it included a handful each of these pencils. So what these pencils are, they're from the brand name, I believe the brand name is Blackwing, and these are their Palomino pencils. Now they come in a number of varieties. These are what I'm going to call their regular varieties. They also have I have some here that I got from my friend Amy a while back. They also have periodic limited editions that they'll have a different coating. The ferrule will be a little bit different. The eraser might be a different color. For the most part, until recently, they were all hexagonal, but they just released a special edition that was a rounded barrel. So that's the special edition of the Blackwing pencils. But for the regular editions, these are the regular editions. They're the original, I guess. Not the original, but the more famous one is the 602. So this is the 602 is the Blackwing, the Palomino Blackwing. And then it comes in, this is the second one, which is a much softer lead, was the Palomino Blackwing. And then the most recent one, which is a sort of what they call a balanced core, is the Palomino Pearl, which has a beautiful iridescent sort of white barrel that I really love. Now normally when it comes to colored pencils, a lot of times you'll see me in these videos and I'll complain about the hexagonal pencils. I'll say they're too uncomfortable to hold. They just make my hand hurt. That's not the case with these. These are very well made. They do use cedar. don't know for certain if it's California cedar, but it's described as incense cedar. But they do use cedar, and they sharpen really, really wonderfully. We'll talk about the sharpening in a second, but let's go over the sort of the anatomy of the pencil. When you get the pencils, they arrive unsharpened, and they're only sold in packs of 12, and the exact price of the particular pack that you want will vary, but they come out to about $2 each. So these aren't inexpensive, and in some ways, you know, you're kind of like, why would people pay $2 to basically shave away your money? Because the more you use it, you're literally shaving away. But these write so wonderfully that it's totally worth it. So anyway, so this is how they come unsharpened in the pack of 12. This is the ferrule. Now the ferrule will, like I said earlier, the color will change. They do have a replaceable eraser, and that's one of the selling features. I didn't really find their erasers to be particularly good. I'm going to interrupt myself real quick just to show you the eraser, because I don't think I did that in the video. You can see it where, I mean, it works. I mean, it's not, it's not terrible. So this is the included eraser, and then this is the eraser that I prefer. You can see the difference there. So that's why I prefer to use, and I was doing this one-handed, that's why I prefer to use these erasers instead of the included eraser. I prefer to use my own, but let me see if I can get this sucker out. Okay, I can't seem to get this sucker out. This one will probably come out much easier. Yeah, see this? So the erasers come out like this, and then you can replace your eraser, or you can turn it as you've been using it, and you can also, like, lift it and have it a little bit higher. But this is one of the selling features here, and then you can put in your new eraser in here, and it will be nice and snug, and you always have an available eraser. So if you're the kind of person that uses the included eraser a lot, you don't have to worry, because you'll never run out of the eraser. The barrel will be a different color, and it will not come with these cat bite marks that mine came with. Well, mine didn't come with it, but mine has these cat bite marks now, but yours will not have these cat bite marks. Like I said, the wood is really nice, high quality cedar, and the lead, which is not lead, the graphite core is such a wonderful graphite core. It's super smooth. They come in, the different pencils will have a variety of hardness levels, especially, the limited edition ones. But I did this entire sketch. Hold on, let me put this up a little higher. I did this entire sketch using just this pencil. So, and then that's something that you can really, I think there's a lot of people that use it for that. They use these for drawing pencils, especially the softer one. A lot of people use the softer one for a drawing pencil, as well as just an all-around writer pencil. But you can see that you can get all those layers of shading just with this one pencil. So I really, that's one of the things that I like for, traveling, and in case I feel like just turning my regular pencil into a sketching object, I can totally do that super easily. So, the difference between the 3 pencils that they sent me, I'm gonna call these the 3 base models. Let's see if I can get this a little closer. Hold on, I'm gonna pause and see if I can get this a little closer just to show you. These are the pencils. Now, the difference in the pencils is not just the painting on the barrel. They also have different qualities. Let me show you, see if I can get this out to show you this. This thing doesn't want to do it. I kind of want to take this page out. All right, so this is the standard, and this is the second newest. This has the softest and the darkest lines. Let me see if I can show you here. You can see that you can see more of the white in there, and that's it's softer, so it goes down a little bit faster, and because of that, you can see more of those little dots there. because it's a little bit blunter. So that's why you see more of the little dots on the bottom. Since this is softer, this is the one that they recommend people use for drawing, but this is the one that I use for writing. I know a lot of people don't like to use this one for writing because since it's softer, it goes down much faster, the point does, and you have to keep turning it. But I feel like I have to keep turning it when I'm doing coloring anyway, so it's not really an issue for me where it bothers me that I have to keep turning it in order to have a relatively firm point. That doesn't bother me, but that does bother some people. So that's this one. And then the next one that's different is the Pearl, is the balanced one. So by balanced, they mean that it's softer than the 602, but firmer than the Palomino, what I'm going to call the standard. And this really is balanced, is exactly how I would describe it. This writes really well. Let me see. I don't know what to write. So this writes really well. The quick. Okay. Anyway, so this writes really well. It's a very smooth writer. A lot of times, especially with some of the artist pencils, when you're writing, they give you a kind of a chalky sort of response. But these give you a really nice, sort of very smooth, comfortable response on these, on the Pearl. And then the famous one, and I think probably, you know, the most famous one is the 602. And this is a much firmer, it's a much firmer lead. Let me see. But it's not like, sometimes you get these firm pencils, like almost very thin. The lead is very firm, but it's also a little bit scratchy, and it also has a tendency to break. This doesn't have that problem. This gives you a nice smooth writing lead, even though it's a little bit on the firmer side, and you can also use this for drawing. But I think a lot of people prefer this one for writing because it does seem to, it'll last the longest because it is the firmest. All the pencils are comfortable to hold, so they will all be very comfortable to hold, and they all sharpen really well. And you can see that I've left some of these points blunt because we're going to sharpen these at the very end. And like I said, they come in various limited editions. These are the ones I got sent by Amy. And the limited edition and the original are mainly sold in by the dozen. I don't really know any place that has them individually. And the exact price will vary depending on which edition you want to get. Even between these three, I think there's a price difference. I could be wrong, but they're around about $2 a pencil, so it's not inexpensive a pencil. But I think the amount of writing time that you get and the just the ease and the comfort is worth it. But you know, everybody will have to decide for themselves if it's worth it. Let's see. And they also have a lot of really fun extras, and I'm going to talk about the extras before we sharpen them because I really enjoyed this. This is a lot of fun. In addition to getting replacement with these point protectors that I really love, and it's going to make it's going to make me a lot more likely to take these out. I didn't have these before. I'm sorry, it doesn't come with these. You can get these either individually or in packs of 3. Now, in the unboxing video, I said incorrectly that you could get 3 of, say, the gold, 3 of the black, and 3 of the silver. That is actually incorrect. The 3-pack is only the mixed pack. So I was wrong about that. And I'll see, maybe I can edit that out before that video goes live. So you can either get them individually for, I think it's $10 for one point protector, or it's $20 for all 3 of them. And you will get these 3 here. You'll get the gold, the black, and the silver. And what these point protectors do is that they will protect the point. You put them in here, and then you can travel with it, and you don't have to worry about your point breaking while you're traveling, which is really awesome. And I am definitely going to be much more inclined to take these out with me. I was taking out my fountain pen instead of a graphite pencil, but now probably what I'll do is I'll put one of these in my bag and just have this be my travel sort of writing instrument. The other thing that they sent me, and this is something that I talked about in one of my early videos, but I honestly didn't know what I was talking about. I described it totally wrong, and it's these 2-step sharpeners. This is the Blackwing one, but I believe Coom makes this for other brands. Now, the way they work is they will have a number a 1, and a 2. And that will tell you the order in which you should sharpen the pencils. And it will give you a super long point that is quite similar to the point that you get with this, but obviously you can't travel with this. This is bulky, you know, whatever. So, so what you do is you take your pencil, and this works by you go in, and it shaves, first it shaves off the wood. So it shaves the wood, and then it gets to the point where it tells you to stop. Once you get to that end there, you keep going. All right, so now we got to the stop part. So now it's shaved off all this wood. So you see the wood, hold on, you see the wood has been shaved off, but it hasn't really started to shave the point off yet. That's where number 2 comes in, and number 2 is, I'm sorry, it hasn't started to shave the core off yet. Number 2 is where you go in and you shave the core. Now I think you can get this a little bit, if you wanted to get this a little bit sharper than this, you could. This is a super sharp point right here. I don't know if you guys can see if it'll focus. You can see it's a super sharp point. I wonder if you could probably get this a little bit. No, I don't want to go too far, but you know, you can keep going. The only thing that stops you is that stopper right there. And there are other brands of 2-step sharpeners. I am, as you guys know, I'm super lazy. I'm not going to do a 2-step sharpener. I did want to get this just to try it and to see, so I'm glad they sent this to me, and I see now the appeal of the 2-step sharpener, but I'm not going to do it. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to either use, I mean, actually, you know what? I was going to say I'm not going to do it, but now that I have the point protector, it's going to be much less of a hassle, because then I can do a 2-step sharpener. See, I can do this is so. I don't know which one to use. This is look how sharp that is. That's a nice super sharp point. And then I could just protect the point. And I guess in that case, then yeah, I would be more inclined to do it. All right, so yes, that's more inclining to do it. But the other thing I want to show you about the sharpener, before I show you how it looks on the crank sharpener, let me set this aside. I did bring this out to show you because I wanted to see for myself. I do believe that this should work. Yep, these work on this too. So even if you don't like the graphite pencil, you might be interested in this. You see what a clean shave that gives you? And it does have that stop, and it's just getting out mainly the wood. It is getting out a little bit of the core. And I could keep going if I wanted to. I'm just not sure that I do want to keep going, because you're supposed to keep going until you get to the stop point. Look at all that core that's exposed right there. Alright, I'm done. I'm not going no further. And then now you go in and you sharpen the, it's just getting the point. See, and you see you get a nice long point this way. And move this aside and show you that you get a nice long point. Now this black here is from me using the graphite and then going in to use that, which, you know, people tell you not to do, but you know, I'm an adult and I do what I want, and I wanted to just quickly go in and use it, and I don't mind the graphite being on the core right there. But I just want to show you that's the point that you get on a, you could probably get this sharper, but that's the point that you get on a Polychromos. So it's nice that the, if you don't mind doing the 2 steps, then it's a nice, really affordable way to get that super sharp point. And it comes with some replacement blades right here that you can store, as well as purchasing additional replacement blades. So that's really cool about this if you want to use this for your coloring. And I think I'm going to take a quick break, and we're going to go over the final conclusions, and I'll be right back. So a few things I wanted to go over before we get to the conclusions. One thing is I want to talk to you about the point. The black one is unsharpened. The middle one was done with the 2-step sharpener, which is this, the Blackwing sharpener, and the last one was done with the Derwent hand crank. Now, if you see the tip on the Derwent hand crank, it's a longer point. You can see that the point is longer, but it's also blunt at the very end. I don't know if you can see it, but the point is kind of flat at the very end of the gray pencil, which was done with the Derwent crank sharpener, and the point on the white one, which was done with the Palomino two-step sharpener, is actually quite a point. It's like a, you know, it's like a syringe kind of point. It's kind of it's very pointy point. I mean, it's super pointy. So so that's one of the differences, and I think that's one of the reasons why people put up with this two-step process. Is it worth, you know, paying $2 a pencils, buying them a dozen at a time to get these pencils? It's really up to you. For me, I'm almost certainly not going to get when I run out of these 602s. That's going to be it. I find them to be a little bit too, even though they give you can see, even though you can get more into the tooth of the paper better, much better certainly than the standard Palomino Black. I still don't like how firm it is. It's too much for me. But you can get a nice light line, so you know, maybe, you know, have a friend who has one or something, or just get them on a whim, which one works for you. But so this is the firmest one, and probably not for me. I do like the black one a lot, and that's the one I mainly use for writing, when I'm writing about all sorts of things. But the point does go down relatively quickly on the black one. And the pearl is not only is it an in-between, which is really nice to have something that's in between. The other thing is I really like the color of this iridescent pearl. I hope that the computer can do it justice, but it really is iridescent. It really does have sort of pearl-like texture, and it seems kind of petty to be like, I'm gonna buy a pencil because I like the barrel, but it kind of like, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I probably, when I'm done with the ones that I have, I'm probably gonna go ahead and get a dozen of the pearl ones, just because I really like that pearl. And I also really like the Palomino Blackwing that they came, not the Palomino Blackwing, the Blackwing has just recently come with a special edition that is round, and I really want to give that a shot. So if I can get my hands on either one of those, I will do a review. I would like to do some more talk on these pencils in the future. But this was my little mini introduction into the world of graphite pencils via the Palomino Blackwing and the Palomino Blackwing Pearl, Palomino Blackwing 602. So let me know if you guys have any questions about graphite pencils, as well as any questions about these particular pencils down in the comments. If you guys would like to see me travel about and do any kind of special tests with the point saver, let me know. And I think that's it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because that helps the channel grow. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Stewie. You mad, bro? Why you mad, bruh? Stewie. I don't like you either. Stewie. See how he ignores me?